Secretary of State Tony Blinken is going to Beijing. A week ago, one of the officials of the CCP, his counterpart, asked him about the Blinken trip, and he said he didn't know anything about it. He said, what day's he coming? I mean, you can't make this stuff up, Colonel. Okay, his trip there, we got a China spy base in Cuba. John Kirby, the spokesperson for the State Department, first he denies its existence. Then he said, yeah, it's there. Then he said, well, it doesn't matter. Now he's saying, well, it kind of matters. What is the deal with these people? Colonel Mills.
Good morning, John. The deal with these people is they apparently have no moral known starting point, and they don't know what they want or what their position is. And in international dialogues and relationships, whoever you're dealing with, whether it be the surliest of nations or the friendliest of strategic partners and allies, they always want clarity, and authenticity. Clarity and authenticity. They get neither from Secretary Blinken or unfortunately this entire national security team. They come from the John F. Kerry school of emoting and talking, where they don't even know what they're talking about, much less the audience. And I mean, I've come out at some of these international meetings, and your international partner leans over and says, "What was that speech that your American senior just gave? We have no idea what that meant." I'm not totally sure either. So I was looking through the schedule and the announcement from State Department. It says, and it's unclear. It just today is the first day of the trip. Unclear whether it's London or Beijing. And the Beijing letter is. It says he's going to be meeting with senior officials. That's our Secretary of State. He better be meeting with at least his equivalent in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, or he needs to rebate and return the money to the Treasury for this trip. This is just, and this whole fraud with this. There's a China spy base in Cuba. Well, anywhere there's a Chinese presence, there is a spy base. Okay, and then there was a Pentagon spokesperson who denied it. It was a one-star. I can't remember his name. But then Kirby did his normal routine. But in their twisted logic, it's almost we're going to stick it to the Chinese before this trip. Somehow this is going to be injurious to the Chinese. Oh, and then we're going to blame it on Trump. The day after the faux indictment, and say, hey, well, Chinese spy base was really there from 2019, meaning it was really Trump's fault. It's like that. The only people delusional is when the only person that's being fooled is the speaker themselves. And that's what's going on here between Jake Sullivan talking on background and Tony Blinken.
I know. I mean, first they deny it, then they can't deny it because it's there. So first they deny it, then they say, and then finally at the end they say, well, it's Trump's fault. It's like, we have just fallen into an abyss here. Go ahead, Colonel.
Well, that's exactly what I put out. As I said, mark my words, they're going to blame Trump within a few days, and bam, they are so predictable. They did that. That's exactly what it is. And it's the old talking on background routine, and I've been told to do this. You're given a bunch of talking points for your boss. Go into that room. There's a bunch of reporters there and talk on background. The whole game in the swamp, the talking on background game is they get access to a senior government official. You say the talking points, and then they're able to run outside and go, and do a breathless report on the street. According to a senior official, that I can't reveal the name, and they're acting like, they're Mark Felt in the, parking garage in Watergate. Mark Felt, the Deep Throat from Watergate days. It is such a pathetic song and dance in the swamp. And I would not be surprised if it was Jake Sullivan who talked on background and says, well, yes, we knew about that. It was dirty laundry left over from Trump. That spy base was there from 2019. Well, I would argue that spy base has probably been there since the Soviets left, the Russians left the Lourdes complex just a little bit to the left of Havana in 2001. And almost immediately the Chinese said, "Hey, we'll that old facility, we'll set up something over there." So, I mean, geez, they're setting up one of their largest embassies ever is in the Bahamas. We don't even have an ambassador in the Bahamas. We're telling the Bahamians they don't
Yeah,
really
tell us about
matter.